how's everybody doing on this Thursday morning? And I have got no idea why the camera is acting wonky, but there has been another update for Windows. So we're just going to take that with a grain of salt and any other grains of seasonings that we can find, and we are going to soldier on. Why? Because that's the way I do that here. It just seems like we have one problem after another. Am I coming in okay? Am I roboting or anything? Or am I like crystal clear? Have you been doing my part? I know, the Fortnite. Ugh. The Fortnite. I'm trying to do my job too with my dreamy team and stuff, and it's just, I'm not interested in Fortnite. It's not a game that I can play. It's not a game that I'm interested in playing. And if I'm not interested in playing the game, I can't get myself interested in watching somebody else play the game. Now, our own rhetorical Arthur has... we out here, hey Savage Pack. Now, rhetorical or Arthur from, that floats around every now and again, has an interesting view of how to play Fortnite. He does it as a goofy character with an interesting little, thing. Yep, dreamy team! Exclamation shill, and you can shill yourself in the live chat. It is a shill stream. So yeah, I've tried watching the Fortnite thing. Let's just say the pickaxes are interesting. They probably wouldn't work in real life, but the pickaxes are interesting. The hippity hops, I'm not a very strategic or tactically minded person, but the hippity hops just are not that realistic to me. I just can't see somebody hippity hopping and shooting at the same time to try and avoid being shot while shooting somebody. Of course, I've always been picky with my shooter games. Let me see if I can get the cam to actually behave. Maybe, maybe not. I think the only shooter game I have in my repertoire at present is an old one, and that's Republic Commando. Now, I do play on occasion Warframe. I like that. It's fun. It's fast moving. I like the setting and all the little options and, your little Warframes you can get, and I like that game. That's nice. But I can't really bring myself to get interested in PUBG or Fortnite or anything like that. But to watch, I got to agree with you there, Savage Pack. I really got to agree with you there. Now, I am going to try this weekend and get together with the hubby and see if we can stream some Lord of the Rings online. Because I can't stream WoW. My subscription ran out. So it's either going to be hubby and me streaming Lotro, or he's going to be on my computer and he is going to be streaming raids on his channel for WoW, because he's at that point where he has to raid to upgrade his stuff to get bigger and better. So we're going to be hammering that out for the weekend. So that's working. Oh yeah, last night I got an email around 8 o'clock at night from YouTube saying that they had stopped giving access to my multi-channel network, Freedom. And I went this morning over to the Freedom website to figure out what was going on, and apparently there's a limit to reviews. And I reached that limit, and they wanted me to resubmit my channel to continue being part of the multi-channel network. I don't think I'm going to do that. It's not because I'm not happy with Freedom. They give me, they shield me from a lot of copyright issues, and they have a lot of good music on a couple of their partner sites and stuff. But I can find that good music on other sites and actually highlight more independent artists with not being on the multi-channel network. So I'm okay with that. Ronan is here, but he is waiting on a ride to go to the store to pick up a few things this morning. So
if it'll hurry up.
Yeah, we're waiting on the ant. Ladies' night last night started out a little goofy and a little glitchy, but it ended up being a whole
goofy
boatload of fun. So yeah. For those of you that don't know, because I have been subjecting and am continuing to subject Panina to certain mobs in Torchlight 2 that happen to be bug-like and roachy, I agreed that this Friday's Fright Night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I am going to play a Five Nights at Freddy's game of her choice. Yes, we still play Neverwinter, and we are going to, we've been talking about, the thing is, he's on my potato because, unfortunately,
I'm not talking about it again.
We're not talking about it, but we are working on it and moving forward and stuff like that, so, and I don't know what's going on with the camera this morning, but it doesn't want to work. It's all herky-jerky on my end, so I'm sure if it's herky-jerky on mine, it's herky-jerky on yours. Panina.
Restart. OBS again.
No, well, the audio's clear. It's just the...
Well,
that's the important part. So I look like I'm going through stop animation in the camera. I can live with that as long as people can hear me. Another thing that's rather depressing for those of us that are, so broke we need to take out a loan to pay attention is it's National Bourbon Day.
You had to bring that up, didn't
you? So anybody that would like to donate to us by tipping in the tip jar to help us with, the celebration of National Bourbon Day.
National Bourbon Day takes about $20 to really celebrate the real thing of bill of bourbon and everything. I think I can get a bottle of Maker's Mark for about that.
Possibly.
Small. It'd be a small one.
It'd be a small one, but we could still toast, right? Yeah. All right, so...
National Bourbon Day.
Hi, Jacob. There's national days for everything.
I know, right? Everything is...
let me see. And
is there a National Scratch Your Butt Day?
Good Lord.
Somebody look that up, bro.
The trending hashtags for me, anyway, on Twitter are Flag Day, which is 14th today, I believe.
Yep.
Thursday Thoughts, U.S. Open. So, the golfing where people walk around and hit a little white ball. And no, that's tennis. This is tennis. The Open is tennis. The Open is tennis. Where you go... and watch everybody's heads go left, right, left, right,
watch
left, right.
Watch people running around swinging at something and everything.
A little yellow ball. Yep. They're talking about the World Cup being in Russia. Wow, this is
exciting. No, it's not.
They're talking about the World Cup being in Russia and,
That's exciting.
Yes. The other hashtag is hashtag I will always defend, hashtag please check yes or no, and hashtag I got blocked. And most of us got blocked from Steve Shive, so we could probably participate in that particular hashtag. Oh, you're just saying. Because he likes, the infamous blocker. Hashtag blocked by Steve Shive.
No, it should be hashtag who hasn't been blocked.
But apparently I'm such a nice person that it took him over a year of me calling him an absolute idiot in order for him to block me on Twitter. I don't know how that works exactly. Most people get blocked by him within seconds. It took me over a year.
It only took me about 35 seconds, I think it was.
Alright, first tweet of the day.
I got it. It was like a rolling announcement.
Right?
First, by Steve Shive.
Yep.
So what?
First tweet of the day is some good news coming out of the Indian Affairs. News release, Secretary Zinke and Blackfeet Nation Chairman Barnes signed documents implementing the Blackfeet Water Rights Settlement and Compact. And I do have that settlement over here, and I'm going to read the key points to it. This is actually very, very exciting for hubby. And for some strange reason, it's not showing up. Okay, let me hit the Twitter link and fix that problem, because I had it keyed up.
Yeah, I'm about to say, I thought you had all that keyed.
Yeah, I did have it all keyed up, but apparently it's being rebellious.
Yes.
Which would not surprise me. There we go. And I'm going to scoot this over here.
Oh, that's right. This was the PDF.
Yeah, this was the PDF. Alright, so we're going to do this. Come on, load. Thank you. The press release is a PDF, so let me go ahead and do this. Wrong one. Alright, there we go. And it's not going to resize because PDF. So I'm going to see what I can do about sizing it up so you guys can actually see it, which may or may not work because, reasons. Oh, I love it when PDFs don't cooperate with what I'm trying to do. Alright, here we go. We're going to do this. We're going to anchor it here. And we're going to make this a little wider. Alright, that should help. Alright, so what I'm trying to highlight here...
Yeah, that works.
Yeah, what I'm trying to highlight here are the key points of what was agreed upon. So I'm going to go ahead and read those. Recognizes the Blackfoot tribe's religious and cultural uses of water. This is what the settlement has finally done. Resolves all outstanding Blackfeet water claims, quantifies a tribal water right to more than 750,000 acre-feet of surface water and nearly all groundwater on the reservation, and funds the constructions and rehabilitation of water-related infrastructure on the reservation for the benefit of the tribal community.
Water treatment plants.
Water treatment plants, yeah, pretty much. Includes an allocation of 45,000 acre-feet of water from Lake Elwell, located behind Tiber Dam, a U.S. Bureau of Reclamation facility. Confirms tribal in-stream flow water rights on ceded lands that are now part of the Lewis and Clark National Forest and Glacier National Park. Grants the tribe the exclusive right to develop hydropower within the St. Mary unit of the Milk River Project, a BOR project. See, funds not only water-related construction projects, but fisheries, recreation, and energy programs as well. Such programs are designed to promote economic development and develop a long-term employment opportunities for Blackfeet tribal members. Resolves age-old disputes among the tribe and its neighbors, as well as with the state and federal government, and encourages long-term harmony and cooperation among all parties. So that is a big step in the positive direction.
Sir, how do you feel about this? Well, we're going to put this casino right here.
Right?
On the shore of this lake.
Yeah.
Decks overlooking the beautiful vista of the lake, the scenicness and everything. It's going to be great. You're going to come spend a lot of money.
Yep, exactly. Let me see.
And he's right. I'll go and spend a lot of money.
Right, we will. Issuance of the final decree is one of several events that must occur for the settlement to become final and enforceable. So it hasn't become final yet, but it's on its way.
Well, sign the damn thing. Hurry up.
Which is good news, right?
I need that casino bill.
Yep.
Hey, is it going to be one of those too and everything while you're gambling? You can drink for free, because she would really like a margarita.
No, I don't like margaritas.
You'll learn.
Excuse me, sir. One cannot force margaritas down my throat. That would be margarita rape. I'm coining it. That is a term I just made up.
Oh,
so,
dear
yeah. Alright, so we'll put that back there, and then we're going to go back over here.
See, we were doing all right. Now you've got the giving the SJWs something to really complain about. Margarita rate.
Right, I know. And today marks the 243rd birthday of the Army this week. On June 14th, 1775, the Continental Congress votes to raise multiple companies of riflemen that were badly needed just outside Boston, where militia had the British cornered. So, yeah, today is the birth of the Army. So, you know, and I promised Merlin I would do that because he was an Army MP man.
Yep.
So, living up to promises held. And we have
during the Army-Navy games and everything, we have to start rooting for the Army now?
Oh, no. I could root for the Navy just to spite him. We'll have to see. And out of the BLM, and no, I don't mean Black Lives Matter. And once again, this did not work. What are you people doing to me?
It's doing it.
It's doing it. It is the Bureau of Land Management. Oh, yeah. The waters around BLM manage Jupiter Inlet Lighthouse outstanding natural area and are designated critical habitat for the western Indian manatee that share them with 800 species of fish from the freshwater tributaries out to the deep reefs. So yes, I'm talking about the Bureau of Land Management and not Black Lives Matter. And yes, unfortunately, we're going to have to go to that land that nobody likes to travel to in order to read the blog post, because they're Tumblrites.
They're tumbloids?
They're tumbloids.
You had to go to the tumbloid?
I had to go to the tumbloids. And here's a little bit of a video. Yes, I know. Here's a little bit of a video of the coral reef.
Okay, I don't think there's any lasting or permanent damage.
Yeah. Good morning, and thank you for the $5 last night, Ghost Dog. I'm sorry about not thanking you on the stream. I didn't hear the notification go off, or if I did, there was a bunch of noises going on. So I am so sorry about the not saying thank you. A dive at Florida's Jupiter Inlet Lighthouse. The waters around the BLM, or Bureau of Land Management, managed Jupiter Inlet Lighthouse outstanding natural area are a designated critical habitat for the western manatee. And we'll skip down. The adjacent Indian River Lagoon, a 156-mile estuary along Florida's east coast, is perhaps the most biologically diverse estuarine system in the continental United States. Many of the fish spend all of their life here, including important forage fish for higher level predators. The estuary is also a fishery for commercial species such as the spotted sea trout, red drum, snook, tarpon, and gray snapper. Manatees are protected by the Florida Manatee Sanctuary Act, which establishes the entire state of Florida as a refuge and sanctuary for manatees, and federally protected by the Marine Mammal Protection Act and Endangered Species Act. So they are triple protected. Triple protected. I tend to go to Tumblr simply because I like some of the blogs there all being comedy based. Yeah, the comedy stuff is good. I used to actually advertise my handmade jewelry on Tumblr. I closed that Tumblr one down. I did have a writing blog on there, but I closed that down as well because it just started getting really weird. I may reopen one again, but I don't know. Haven't fully decided on that yet. So that is out of the Bureau of Land Management. I'm proud to say I have never been on Tumblr. Well, when I first started trying to social media market my stuff, I figured Tumblr was the place to be. And then I realized that Tumblr could be very scary and cancerous. Today, out of the White House, it is President Donald J. Trump's birthday, so happy birthday to our president, who is doing a bang-up job with North Korea as far as the preliminary agreements are concerned. We're still getting more out of there, so I'm keeping an eye on that particular predicament, but this is his birthday. Love him or hate him, he was born today. Tumblr is a blogging site. Alright, and unfortunately we have an end of watch to report. For those of you that don't know what end of watch is the phrase given for when a police officer is killed in the line of duty or an officer in general is killed in the line. Oh my god, I got raided! Thank you, Draconith. Thank you, Raiders. Yeah. So today's end of watch is Christopher T. Bacon, who is a collection operations manager for the Border Patrol. His memorial will be held tomorrow at 2 p.m. at the Aeris Center in Grand Forks. And they give instructions on how to get in there if you want to attend. Okay, this is 17 hours from this morning, so today at 2 p.m. Probably Eastern, Great Plains time. So there is that there. And unfortunately, you know, I'm with Sylvanus Darkangel on this. I don't like reporting fallen officers. But he is a fallen officer. He does protect our borders. And there is a story behind his death, and I'm going to read that now. CBP Collection Operations Manager killed in Highway 2 crash. This is out of North Dakota. A U.S. Customs and Border Protection Operations Manager was involved in a vehicle collision while on duty near Crookston, Minnesota, Thursday afternoon, which resulted in the manager's death. I'm deeply saddened by the death of CBP Office of Intelligence Collection Operations Manager Christopher T. Bacon. Our hearts go out to the family, friends, and co-workers of Chris during this difficult time, said Great Lakes Field Intelligence Group Field Director Dave Alwood. You know, they really got to learn how to shorten titles. Bacon, 51, stationed at the CBP Air and Marine National Air Security Operations Center in Grand Forks, was involved in a vehicle collision on Highway 2 while on duty near Crookston, Minnesota at approximately 1 p.m. on Thursday afternoon, which resulted in his death. This is Thursday. Oh, this must be last Thursday. No other fatalities or serious injuries were reported at the scene. Bacon was a 22-year veteran of the Customs and Bureau Protection and began his career in 1995 as a Border Patrol agent. Chris also served as an air enforcement agent before transitioning to his current position with the CBP Office of Intelligence. Chris leaves behind his wife and 4 children. Minnesota State Troopers are currently investigating the accident. So, and I already see a joke about bacon death. I already see a joke about bacon death in the chat, and I'm not even looking at the chat fully yet. Laura, everyone mourn the death of Bacon. It is a sad day when Bacon dies. Yes, it is a sad day when Bacon dies indeed. I'll give a moment of silence for Bacon. And let me see. And to end it with a little spot of beauty this morning, your view from the Department of the Interior is the Blue Ridge National Park. Photo taken by Brian Anderson on a sunset. I love sunset pictures. To me, they're just as beautiful as sunrise pictures with all the different colors peeking through. No, That was my ringtone. So there you have it. There's our Department of Interior tweet for the day. And we are moving on to this day in history. If you were born on June 14th, this is what happened on your birthday. 1381, the Peasants' Revolt, led by Wat Taylor, climaxes when rebels plunder and burn the Tower of London and kill the Bishop of Canterbury. 1642, Massachusetts passes the first compulsory education law in the colonies. 1645, Oliver Cromwell's army routs the King's Army at Naseby. 1775, U.S. Army is founded with the Continental Congress, authorizes the muster of troops. 1777, the Continental Congress authorizes the Stars and Stripes flag for the United States. 1789, Captain William Bligh of the HMS Bounty arrives in Timor in a small boat. He had been forced to leave his ship when his crew mutinied. 1846, a group of settlers declare California to be a republic, which is still on their flag, by the way. 1864, at the Battle of Pine Mountain, Georgia, Confederate General Leonidas Polk, yes, there was a Leonidas, is killed by a Union shell. 1843, the city of Philadelphia observes the first Flag Day. 1907, women in Norway win the right to vote. 1919, John William Alcott and author Whitton Brown take off from St. John's, Newfoundland for Clifton, Ireland, on the first non-stop transatlantic flight. 1922, President Warren G. Harding becomes the first president to speak on the radio. Now we have the first president tweeting everything he thinks, sometimes without filter. 1927, Nicaraguan President Porfirio Diaz signs a treaty with the U.S. allowing American intervention in his country. 1932, Representative Edward Eslick dies on the floor of the House of Representatives while pleading for the passage of the bonus bill. 1940, German forces occupy Paris. 1942, the Supreme Court rules that requiring students to salute the American flag is unconstitutional. 1944, Boeing B-29 bombers conduct their first raid against mainland Japan. 1945, Burma is liberated by the British. 1949, the state of Vietnam is formed. There's a lot of history happening today. 1951, Univac, the first computer built for commercial purposes, is demonstrated in Philadelphia by Dr. John W. Mockley and J. Presper Eckert Jr. Americans take part in the first nationwide civil defense test against atomic attack in 1954. 1965, a military triumvirate takes control in Saigon. In South Vietnam, Argentina surrenders to the United Kingdom, ending the Falkland Islands War. Gunmen hijacked a passenger jet over the Middle East. The Congressman William Gray, an African American, is elected Democratic whip of the House of Representatives, and I did say whip like that on purpose. Chechen rebels take 2,000 people hostage in a hospital in Russia, and I have run out of prop. Let me go refill my cup. Whoa. One cannot run out of coffee. Okay, there we go. I got a little bit left. Might be able to make food. Okay, here we go. Let me see. And if you were born on this day, you share a birthday with Harriet Beecher Stowe, American author of Uncle Tom's Cabin. John Bartlett, editor-compiler of Bartlett's Familiar Quotations. Robert Marion, Fighting Club Lafayette. Reform movement leader, governor of Wisconsin, U.S. Senator, and Progressive Party presidential candidate. Margaret Burke White, American photojournalist. Pierre Salinger, press secretary for John F. Kennedy. Jerzy Kosinski, Polish-American novelist who wrote The Painted Bird and Being There. And Donald Trump, New York real estate mogul. So that is who you're sharing your birthday with if you were born on June 14th. There was a lot of stuff historically that happened on this day. Nice long list of stuff. And I'm glad you guys recommended that you wanted to see more of these particular days. Was that the... Yeah, it's... My ringtone goes off like that. I am a Whovian. I have been discovered. My secret is out. I am a Whovian. I'm certain that a lot of people are cursing their birthday. Yeah, probably liberals, mostly. You know, I just don't think he's doing that bad of a job, actually. So, let's get on with the news, shall we? Okay, before we get to the weather, I have some breaking news that I need to report to you guys. Let's see here what's going on. This just in, as soon as my app loads. Alright, I still have to back this up and do some research. So this is a tentative breaking news story at present. So please take it with a grain of salt as I paste the link and put it here. But Comey broke from FBI procedures in Clinton probe, watchdog finds. Former FBI Director James Comey deviated from FBI and Justice Department procedures in handling the probe into Hillary Clinton, damaging the law enforcement agency's image of impartiality. Even though he wasn't motivated by political bias, the department's watchdog found a highly anticipated report. Really, he wasn't motivated by personal bias. He's flat out said that he don't like Trump, but that's not political bias. Alright, do better, Bloomberg. Do better. While we did not find that these decisions were the result of political bias on Comey's part, here we go again, we nevertheless concluded that by departing so clearly and dramatically from FBI and department norms, the decisions negatively impacted the perception of the FBI and the department as fair administrators of justice. Oh, here we go. My app's better than your app. Alright, that's what we're reading right now because it is a breaking story. And I don't have that in the description right now. While we did not face... Inspector General Michael Horowitz said in the report's conclusions, which were obtained Thursday by Bloomberg News. Horowitz's report examined actions taken by top officials before the 2016 election, including the handling of the investigation into Clinton's use of a private email server when she was Secretary of State. The investigation expanded to touch on an array of politically sensitive decisions by officials, including Comey and former Attorney General Loretta Lynch. Those two names keep popping up. While the report being sent to Congress on Thursday doesn't deal with the origins of the probe into Russian meddling in the 2016 U.S. election and possible collusion with those around President Trump, Donald Trump. You like how they word that? Around Donald Trump. I'm just going to leave that there. Around Donald Trump. You know, that's an interesting choice of phrasing. The president and his Republican reporters in Congress are primed to use it as evidence as a poor judgment. I'm glitching now. Of poor judgment and anti-Trump bias within the Federal Bureau of Investigation and the Justice Department. Hello, Mitch, Jacob, Draconith, and everybody else that is just now joining me. So we have this here. Evidence primed to use as evidence of poor judgment and anti-Trump bias within the Federal Bureau of Investigation. I believe we had a coffee talk where we went through a particular dossier and report of a dossier, which literally, I believe, had either Mueller or Comey admitting that they did not like Trump. I can't remember which one exactly, but there was definitely bias. Yep, we did, Mitch. There was definitely bias that was disclosed in that particular dossier and the report that we went over in that coffee talk. Things that go, There's a lot of spin going on in this particular article. In tweets, Trump has said Comey's investigation into Clinton was phony and dishonest, and that Comey, who he fired on May 9th, 2017, left the FBI's reputation in tatters. Let's face it. The FBI is, and I have some cop friends that are retired now, and some that, that I had while I was working in convenience stores. Nobody likes it when the feds or the FBI shows up because they take over everything and they don't like sharing, especially in an investigation. And when you have an investigation like this, which is a federal investigation coming out of Washington, D.C., and you're not being partial, and it's been proven that you're not being partial, the investigation, in my opinion, should have been scrapped. Because every time they dig into this, because they're not done with this probe, Mueller's not done wasting money yet. And that's the way I'm going to say it, because he's wasting money. Mueller is not done wasting money yet. But every time he digs deeper into this probe, trying to find anybody that can incriminate Trump, during the election cycle, he uncovers stuff that damns the left. The DNC's already been damned. Comey's already been damned. Mueller's under fire. You have all this stuff from the left that is coming out the deeper this probe goes. You would have thought by now they would have stopped because they're not making themselves look better, but no, they're going to continue. Trump has expressed great interest in the Inspector General's report, as well as some skepticism it might not be as damning as he hoped. Beavers have been damned, right? What is taking so long with the Inspector General's report on crooked Hillary and slippery James Comey? Trump tweeted on June 5th. Numerous delays. Hope report is not being changed and made weaker. There are so many horrible things to tell the public. Has the right to know. Transparency. Let me highlight that for a minute, because I do have a few things that I want to say about that particular thing. First of all, I would have to go back to June 5th and see if he actually said that, so I don't know if that's a direct tweet quote. Okay. Second of all, the numerous delays is because I believe if they know that he wants to be transparent, which means some of these things in this final report are going to be redacted before they are released to the public. Freedom of information be damned. Once this report comes public, I think I am going to dig into seeing how to fill out a request through the Freedom of Information Act to get my hands on the document or documents, however many there are, however many pages it consists of. Because I want to see, I want to see this report. I don't know if there is money tied in with these requests for the Freedom of Information Act, but I would absolutely love to go through the process of requesting a document to see A, how long it takes me to get the document, and B, how much bureaucratic red tape I have to go through in order to request said documents. Because if it doesn't take that long to request a document, and the turnaround from request to receiving the document isn't long, I may be filing more of these requests. Because I want to be able to see things directly from the horse's mouth, so to speak. But then you have to ask yourself, how long till something can be released that will fall under the Freedom of Information Act? I'm going to have to look up all those things. Among topics the Inspector General reviewed was Comey's announcement in July 2016 that no prosecutor would find grounds to pursue criminal charges against Clinton for improperly handling classified information on her private email server, as well as Comey's decision to inform Congress only days before the election that the Clinton investigation was being reopened. Okay, when you are the Secretary of State, and yes, I highlighted that, when you are the Secretary of State, and you're using your private email server for classified information, you're already breaking one of the agreements of your office. You're supposed to make sure that you are communicating all confidential and top secret information and documents through a government secured server. She didn't do that. She already broke that. Okay? And the 30,000 emails still haven't surfaced. They were deleted, but most of us that are computer savvy know that deleted doesn't often mean gone for good. But you can already tell by the way this is being worded that Hillary is going to be forever their sweetheart. Oh, she did that, but nobody's going to prosecute her for that. Comey's public announcement of findings angered Republicans, while his reopening of the inquiry outraged Democrats. Of course, because they don't want their Hillary tainted. Anti-Trump text. Republican critics seized on revelations from the Inspector General that two FBI officials who worked on Special Counsel Robert Mueller's Russia investigation, Peter Strzok and Lisa Page, exchanged text messages sharply critical of Trump. Mueller removed Strzok from the inquiry after the texts were discovered, and Page has since left the FBI. So they're dropping like flies, or they're being discovered as being blatantly slanted against Trump. But, there's no political bias. y'all. There's no political bias whatsoever. None. Absolutely nothing to be worried about here. Nothing to see. Nothing significant. We did not find documentary or testimonial evidence that improper considerations, including political bias, directly affected the specific investigative actions we reviewed. Right. Horowitz said in the report to be issued Thursday. This is today. The conduct by these employees cast a cloud over the entire FBI investigation. I bet. The Inspector General also released a report in April finding that Deputy FBI Director Andrew McCabe lacked candor on 4 different occasions, including interactions with the media, including providing information to a news reporter about the FBI's investigation into the foundation created by Clinton and her husband. And more spinning in this article. We will have a hurricane. Exactly, right, Ghost Dog, right? Former President Bill Clinton. The Inspector General has referred the matter to the U.S. Attorney for the District of Columbia for further investigation. Yeah, he lacked candor. This is another person that was already caught being blatantly against Trump. Okay, we have found all this stuff out by digging ourselves. And if Mitch and Merlin and I, along with Ronan and a couple of others that are passionate about keeping an eye on our government, can find all this information by going on the internet and doing deep searches and trying to find answers, the only reason that the left doesn't have to do it is because they like staying blissfully blind. Ignorance is bliss. Well, I don't want to be blissful. I want to know what's going on. The Inspector General also opened a separate review into whether the Justice Department and FBI followed appropriate procedures in obtaining a secret warrant to conduct surveillance on former Trump campaign aide Carter Page in late 2016, early 2017. So we have that, and apparently I have another breaking news story. Illegal conduct, huh? All right, here we go. And this is out of the New York Post, so take this with a grain of salt as well, because we know they're a liberal rag. And that didn't work. Let me try that again. Paste, enter. Sometimes I have fat finger syndrome. Yep, New York files, this Washington Post, WAPO. WAP-O. Love it. New York files suit against Trump alleging his charity engaged in illegal conduct. So that's where we're at this morning. New York filing a lawsuit against the President of the United States. New York Attorney General on Thursday, that's today, filed suit against President Trump and his 3 eldest children, alleging persistently illegal conduct at the president's personal charity, saying Trump repeatedly misused the nonprofit to pay off his business's creditors, to decorate one of his golf clubs, and to stage a multi-million-dollar giveaway at his 2016 campaign events. Right. They probably won't find anything. In the suit, filed Thursday morning, Attorney General Barbara Underwood asked a state judge to dissolve the Donald J. Trump Foundation. She asked that its remaining $1 million in assets be distributed to other charities and that Trump be forced to pay at least $2.8 million in restitution and penalties. Okay, first of all, what did they find? I'm going to continue the article, but the problem is this. Okay? What did they find? Because in order to do a lawsuit like this, I think you have to have some sort of proof so you don't look like an idiot in the courtroom. Underwood also asked that Trump be banned from leading any other New York nonprofit for 10 years, seeking to apply a penalty usually reserved for the operators of small-time charity frauds to the President of the United States. In the suit, Underwood noted Trump had already paid more than $330,000 in reimbursements and penalty taxes since 2016. New York State began probing the Trump Foundation in response to an investigation by the Washington Post. So, WAPO investigated and New York went, let's look into this. But she asked the judge to go further and require Trump pay millions more. She said a 20-month state investigation found that Trump had repeatedly violated laws that set the ground rules for tax-exempt foundations. Most importantly, that their money is meant to serve the public good and not to provide private benefits to their founders. I want to see receipts. I want to see receipts. Show me the money trail. All this right now to me is a bunch of assertions. This resulted in multiple violations of state and federal law, Underwood wrote in the legal complaint. Show me the money trail. The White House and the Trump Organization did not immediately respond for request to comment because they're trying to figure out what charity they're talking about, probably. Trump has been president of the foundation since he founded it in 1987. Late into 2016, he had promised to shut down the Trump Foundation, but could not while the Attorney General's investigation continued to probe. Underwood was promoted to the position of Attorney General only weeks ago, succeeding Eric Schneiderman, after he resigned following allegations that he had physically abused several romantic partners. Underwood was a career staffer, not an elected official. I did put emphasis on that on purpose. She was a staffer, not an elected official. She has promised not to seek election, see how long this lasts, for a full term as Attorney General in the fall. Underwood declined to comment on the case beyond issuing a written statement because she didn't want to be tripped up at a press conference, I guess. Because there are certain ways that you can phrase things, certain questions you can ask in certain tones to get people to trip up during a press conference because, cue cards don't cover everything, nor does a teleprompter. Yeah, where's the evidence? Exactly. As our investigation reveals, the Trump Foundation was little more than a checkbook for payments from Trump or his business to nonprofits. Regardless of their purpose or legality. A checkbook for payments from Trump or his business to nonprofits. Let me highlight that again. Little more than a checkbook for payments from Mr. Trump or his business. Doesn't this completely conflict with the lawsuit? If he used the payments for nonprofits, isn't that what the foundation was supposed to be for? Isn't the lawsuit that's going to be brought against him about misappropriation of nonprofit funds from his foundation? Where is the misappropriation of funds if he's using it for nonprofits? Regardless of their purpose or legality. Now, unless he vets every single charity that he gives money to, which is a good thing to do, mind you, but he is a busy man, how do you know what nonprofit you're giving money to is legitimate and which one isn't? You're holding him accountable for the legitimacy of the charities that he writes checks to. It's a little ridiculous. Just a little ridiculous. Underwood said in the statement, Underwood said she had sent letters to both the IRS and the Federal Election Commission identifying what she called possible violations of tax law and federal campaign law by Trump's foundation. Show me the money. Underwood has jurisdiction over the Trump Foundation because the charity is based at Trump Tower in Manhattan and registered in New York State. Okay, so it falls in New York jurisdiction. Thank you for dumbing that down for those of us who apparently can't think for ourselves. Trump's children, Donald Trump Jr., Ivanka Trump, and Eric Trump were also named in the lawsuit because they have been official board members of the Donald J. Trump Foundation for years. Usually, if it's a multi-million-dollar kind of thing, you got the whole family involved. I mean, Clinton Foundation. Clinton Foundation. Hello, Clinton Foundation. I think I've said that enough. Excuse the coughing. Under the law, Underwood said, board members are supposed to scrutinize a charity's spending for signs that its leader, in this case their father, was misusing the funds. But if he was using the funds to pay for nonprofit charities, was he misusing the funds? Oh my God. I just saw this hole. They did not see this hole while they were writing this article? Of course not, because it's Trump and not Hillary. The board had not actually met since 1999, meaning they did not exercise any oversight. The foundation directors failed to meet the basic fiduciary duties and abdicated all responsibility for ensuring that the foundation's assets were used in compliance with the law. She asked the judge to ban each of the three from serving as a director of a New York nonprofit for a year. It was not clear if any of the three are serving currently on the board of any such charities. Eric Trump, for instance, stepped down from the board of the Eric Trump Foundation after the 2016 election, and the charity was renamed Curativity. Although Trump's name is on the foundation in recent years, most of its money was not actually his. Trump did not give any donation to the Trump Foundation between 2008 and 2015. Instead, its largest benefactors in recent years have been wrestling moguls Vince and Linda McMahon, who gave $5 million in total in 2007 and 2009. Linda McMahon was later appointed by Trump as head of the Small Business Administration. The McMahons have declined to answer questions about the reasons for their gifts. Interesting. Interesting. Very interesting. The lawsuit shows the Trump Foundation, which Trump founded to give away some of the royalties from his 1987 book, The Art of the Deal, looked on paper like other tax-exempt nonprofits. It filed annual reports with New York State and the IRS. It listed directors and donations. Okay. But behind the scenes, here comes another assertion. Underwood said the foundation was essentially one of Trump's personal checkbooks. A pool of funds that his accounting clerks knew to use whenever Trump wanted to pay money to a nonprofit. Again, I don't see any problem with that. It's a nonprofit. By law, Trump wasn't allowed to buy things for himself using the charity's money, even if he was buying them from nonprofits. It's a little more of an explanation, but it still sounds a little hinky. By law, Trump wasn't allowed to buy things for himself using the charity's money, even if he was buying them from nonprofits. Okay. I need a show of ones in the chat if you guys have ever donated to a charity that has sent you something like a thank you gift for donating to the charity. I know I have. At one point during a deposition, a New York State investigator asked Alan Weisselberg, a Trump Organization employee, who was also listed as a treasurer for Trump Foundation, if the foundation had a policy for determining which specific payments the foundation was allowed to make. Yes, the WWE runs a multi-billion-dollar business. Exactly, Ghost Dog. There's no policy, just so you understand, Weisselberg said. The interviewer asked if Weisselberg had understood he was actually on the board of the Trump Foundation and had been for more than a decade. I did not. With no outside oversight over Trump's use of foundation funds, Underwood said the future president had repeatedly used his charities' money to help his businesses and himself. Yeah, I know there's something wrong with the camera. Twice, for instance, Trump used the charity's money to settle legal disputes that involved his for-profit business. Okay. I would like proof. My computer's been going hinky ever since the last update, Jacob. And I think I would rather have you guys be able to hear what I'm saying than be able to see me on the camera. That's an executive decision. That is an executive decision. In 2007, he settled a dispute with the town of Palm Beach over code violations at Trump's Mar-a-Lago club. The town agreed to waive outstanding fines if Mar-a-Lago gave $100,000 to a charity. That's a settlement out of court. Okay, that's a little hinky on Trump's side. But the donation to an organization called Fisher House came instead from the foundation, Underwood said, after Trump wrote a note to Weisselberg. Alan W. DJT Foundation, $100,000 to Fisher House, settlement of flag issue in Palm Beach, said the note, which is included in the lawsuit. So he used foundation funds to pay for a charity to settle an out-of-court lawsuit. Alright, that's a little hinky. That is a little hinky. Yeah, okay, I'll have to give you that one, but I still have to see proof. In addition, in 2012, a Trump golf club agreed to pay $158,000 to settle a lawsuit with a man who was denied a $1 million hole-in-one prize during a tournament at the club. The Trump Foundation paid the money instead of the club, Underwood said. Okay. If these assertions and these examples are true that are being put forth in this lawsuit, I would like to see proof. I want to see documentation. Not that I don't believe her, but documentation will lend more weight to her words. There's some more smaller instances that I see that are being listed on here. Lots of donations that he used for the wrong reasons, and so forth. And this is a rather long article, So I'm probably going to wind up breaking that down and probably doing some research on that. Alright, so now that we have, and if you guys want to read the rest of it, there is the link. I have a feeling that anything hinky would have been run by a lawyer. I mean, this is nothing compared to the Clinton Foundation, but if Trump did wrong, they should both... Yeah, they should both be dealt with, Nilk. I completely agree. And now, may not be the weather we want, but it's the weather we're stuck with. Alright, for today, June 14th. And this thing shrunk on me. Let's make it a little bit longer. It is a little shady if the evidence is true. Yes, I agree. Out of the National Weather Service, prediction is good for till Saturday, June 16th. Strong to severe thunderstorms along with flash flooding will likely to develop across the northern plains and upper Mississippi Valley through Sunday. Flash flooding and severe weather possible Thursday into Friday for the northern plains to the upper Mississippi Valley. Moisture from the tropical storm Bud may begin to impact portions of the northwest by Friday. Showers and thunderstorm coverage over the northeast will increase this morning as the central low and associates cold front pulls offshore. Although new development will be possible as a draping cold front that descends from southern Canada. Convection will continue across the deep south today as the boundary lingers across the region. In other words, it's going to be hot and wet and humid. Yay us. The western portion of this boundary will lift as a warm front across the central plains this evening, which will provide focus for additional showers and storms. Showers and thunderstorms will spread from the Intermountain region to the northern tier states today as a strong cold front crosses the Rockies. And I did say cold front. I read that right. Conditions will be ripe for strong convection from eastern Montana to the upper Mississippi Valley. The Storm Prediction Center has identified much of this area as having a slight risk for severe storms, with a smaller section having an enhanced risk, while WPC is highlighting a slight risk for flash flooding across parts of the northern plains to the upper Midwest. See the outlooks from these two centers for additional details on the severe weather and flash flood threat. Ahead of this system, ridging in the upper levels will keep temperatures very warm. Yep. With afternoon highs 10 to 20 degrees above normal possible. So I'm going to copy this and paste it here. And this is what the weather map looks like. That nice little tan circle you guys are seeing is like very strategically missing Dallas. As well as parts of Pennsylvania, West Virginia, Ohio, Indiana, and so on and so forth. But I like how it looks. I like how it goes, no, not going there, people. And this red line's here is possible flash flooding. The yellow here is severe thunderstorms possible. So if you're in any of these areas, please be careful and plan your day accordingly. You see some snow and mixed wintry stuff still over here in the upper northwest, along with regular rainfall in the upper northwest as well. We have a low pressure front mixing with a high pressure front today, which is causing a lot of problems. So we'll be keeping an eye on it there. This is the temperature map for the day. As you can see, we have I am not leaving my house temperatures up in northeast Maine, and as well as over here in the northwest proper over here. Even though 40s and 50s aren't that cold, they are unseasonably cold for this time of year, it being the middle of June. Somebody has not told Mother Nature it's June. The woman needs to get off her PMS and get with the program. Seriously. So you have a cold spot right here in the Central Rockies, and you have cold spots all along the lakes and stuff like that. And it's like, hello, it's like June, middle of June. It should be warming up. I mean, you guys need to be as warm as us, please, because we're suffering down here with freaking humidity. I can deal with the heat as long as it's not humidity, but you put that humidity with the heat, and it's like it doesn't matter how much water you drink, you never really seem to quench your thirst. Where's my summer? I want a tan. I know, right, Sora Luna? I mean, holy crap. Like I said, 50s to 60s isn't that bad, but it's still unseasonably cold for this time of year up in the northwest. So, let's go on with the rest of the news. Oh, yeah. Oh, the humidity. Exactly. I remember being out west in Ohio for a pagan gathering, and this guy was like, be careful, guys. You know, it's 5% humidity, and me and this girl from Virginia were just laughing our butts off because, yeah, no. We just looked at him and kind of laughed, and we were like, you don't know where we come from. You have no clue what we go through. All right, so, in an ongoing crusade to save the freedom of religion part of the First Amendment, Pen, I think, is doing a little bit better this morning. She's up and about and around, I think. I haven't heard from her because when I'm preparing the show, I really don't have time to be in my Discord asking. It's a dry heat, right? The Justice Department stated Wednesday it will work harder to bring lawsuits to municipalities. Yeah, I spelt that wrong. Municipalities that show tendencies to discriminate against houses of worship. This comes on the heels of a case filed against Woodcliff Lake, New Jersey. The case accuses the town of illegally denying zoning approval to an Orthodox Jewish congregation wanting to build a synagogue. As to be predicted, civil rights groups are scrutinizing his focus on religious liberty, which could open the doors for discrimination against the LGBT community. That is what the civil rights people are contending. The Department of Justice, headed by Sessions, has championed this cause before when they backed anti-abortion centers in California over a state law which stated women can receive state-funded abortions. Yeah. I read that correctly. This is the same memo that was the legal basis to attempt to block Obama-era ACA requirements for covering birth control. The new initiative seeks to bring more cases against towns who use zoning laws to block religious buildings, which includes expansions of the buildings. This may prove to be a daunting task for the Justice Department. 2 years ago, I was at a wedding in Montreal in August. It was horrible how humid and hot it was, so sticky and hard to breathe. Yeah, I know. Hi, Panina. I hope you're feeling better this morning. Yeah, and the reason I put this line down here at the bottom is because, first of all, they have to get wind of which towns, municipalities, territories, commonwealths are, denying these particular religious organizations groundbreaking in order to build their churches, synagogues, what have you. Then they have to go in and they have to look at what the situation is to see if the building has been turned down by manipulation of zoning laws due to the fact that they don't agree with the religion that wants to put up the synagogue, mosque, or whatever. Or if they are just denying it because that particular area isn't zoned for that particular construction. It's a tricky thing. Jacob, I'm in the middle of a news show, sweetie. I'll answer that later. So it's, to me, this could be a bit of a minefield for Sessions and his crew. Because if they find that one case that they think is discrimination and it actually isn't, they could get themselves in hot water. As far as the assertion about discriminating against the LGBT community, when do you draw the line between discrimination of a group and discrimination of religion? How much power are you going to give the LGBT community in regards to religious buildings, religion as a whole, choices that religious organizations make? How much power are you going to give the LGBT community so as not to infringe on the freedom of practicing said religion that they keep saying is discriminating against them? For example, Christianity has many denominations or divisions. You have Protestant, you have Catholic, you have Roman Catholic, Eastern Orthodox, Lutheran, you have Methodist, Baptist, Episcopalian. There are all these denominations in the Christian religion, and all of them interpret the Bible differently. Now, do I agree with different interpretations of the Bible? No, the Bible is the Bible. It has parables. Parables are basically like fables. They are lessons to learn in life by reading what is there and not interpreting it in order to back up your religious ideology. But that's beside the point. Okay? Some of these particular religious groups are very fundamentalists. They're very, very traditional. They're very literal in the way they read and interpret the Bible. It is these particularly fundamental Christian groups, Westboro Baptist Church, that are blatant, some would say, against discrimination against the LGBT community. But they are also a cult that is a religion, and they are free to practice it. Now, we are free not to like their doctrines. We are free not to like the Westboro Baptist Church. They are not free from the repercussions of their open disdain for the LGBT community. But to me, it crosses into discrimination lines when the individual is no longer in that church and is still discriminating against that particular group. That to me is discrimination. Is it discrimination if the fundamentalist religion as a whole believes that everybody in the LGBT community is going to hell because they are not heterosexual? To me, it's a gray area. I want to say yes. But to be fair and impartial in this particular instance, who's to say what they believe in their religion isn't correct? Discrimination is harsh. It's a word that we don't want to use. It's a word that makes people cringe. But when you have several fundamentalist religions, and Christianity is not the only one that has a fundamentalist section of their belief system, when does it cross the line from being a religious belief to being out-and-out discrimination? I'll leave that question to you guys in the chat. And I'll move on to the next story. German prosecutors thwart Ricin attack. German prosecutors have stopped a Tunisian, Saif Allah, from launching a Ricin attack on the country, but no location for the attack. The prosecutors say the suspect is an Islamic extremist, but they do not have any evidence of terrorist ties. Well, an online search revealed Allah was purchasing the materials needed to make the toxin. They had no comment on a Bild newspaper report. They were tipped off by American intelligence. So, this is a very short, sweet, and succinct little story that I decided to put in here. I don't know if they're going to continue investigating this. To me, it seems like it's wrapped up. But ricin is a poisonous toxin. It can create a toxin gas. They caught him, and I like how they really don't want to give, if American intelligence had a play in warning them, that they don't want to give them credit. I think that's kind of funny. Maybe a little petty, but kind of funny in my opinion. Alright, next story is a little bit longer. Alright, let me come down here. Pompeo, no denuclearization, no sanctions lifting. After a vague yet promising agreement was reached in Singapore, President Donald Trump declared America can sleep well tonight. The problem is the meeting had no specifics on how any of the agreed upon entries would be enacted. Where the president claimed what was done was diplomatic breakthrough, the Secretary of State Pompeo is more reserved in his reactions to the talks. He says North Korea needs to take major steps within the next 2 years to disarm and dismantle their nuclear program. He also went against Trump's promise to end war games with South Korea if the North stops its good faith negotiations. It was admitted that meeting in Singapore did reduce tensions, a marked change from the war of words between Trump and Kim last year. This was the first type of meeting since the ceasefire in 1953, which had both sides without a peace treaty. Yep. The 4 points agreed upon open the floor to more negotiations, which will continue in the next week or so, according to Pompeo. A vague agreement like this has its critics, but Pompeo has been quoted as saying, "We have big teams ready to go. We're prepared to execute this once we're in a position that that we can actually get to a place where we can do it. So they're still. So was he using the toxic for killing? No, he was actually going to attack a city in Germany. Ray caught him before he was able to do it. So Pompeo is being reserved in his optimism. So here you see a dichotomy. You see Trump with smiles and saying, we've made a major breakthrough. America can sleep well tonight. We have got this. And Pompeo going, whoa. We still have a lot of work to do here. We just can't take this at face value. These 4 points are a start, but we've got to build from there to make a concrete agreement to do a timetable for this denuclearization. And I don't want to talk about lifting any of these sanctions until it's clear to everybody that Kim Jong-un isn't going to back out of any of these 4 points. I like the caution Pompeo is taking here. Because after the war of words last year, and we remember Rocket Man, Doddard, all those wonderful little words that came out of Twitter exchanges, out of the news and everything like that, because they were going back and forth. My button works. Being another one. I would like to, I'm with Pompeo on this one. Caution. You have to be very, very cautious. Because you don't know what Kim Jong-un is going to do next. And now for the last one. Out of Wisconsin, a story given to me by Miss Goddess Bree. Just when you didn't think the Democrats could stoop any lower. In a story out of Wisconsin and submitted by Goddess Bree, Assembly candidate Sharice Daniels not only missed the deadline for a written response in regards to allegations of submitting forged signatures on nomination papers to be on the ballot this fall, she's also allegedly forged signatures to get her on the ballot this fall. I didn't finish the sentence, but there you go. Because, I was half asleep. The failure to respond has now led Daniels facing a Watertown police investigation on the charges of forgery. Yay! The Democratic candidate collected 201 signatures on her nomination papers. One more than needed to submit her name. However, 22 affidavits have been received from people who deny ever signing the papers at all. Other problems include a signature tied to an empty lot for an address. The only statement from her lawyer was, "We expect that this issue will be solved and my client is looking forward to facing the voters on the ballot this far." Like she's going to get votes after this shit? The Republican Party filed the complaint and the spokesman had this to say. It's no surprise she's conceding after over 20 Wisconsinites signed affidavits saying she forged their information. So there you have it. You have an assembly candidate that forged signatures to get on a ballot in November. Now, in my opinion, there's only two reasons, or at least one major glaring reason, why you would go through such lengths to forge signatures to put your name in the ballot. You're a weak candidate that can't win an election. Or at least a primary election. So she's following in Clinton's footsteps. It seems that she has taken a couple of tips and tricks from the Clinton bag, so to speak. It does seem that way indeed. But, who am I to judge? I'm just here giving opinions on the internet. If you would like to submit, if you are overseas or just across on the West Coast or anywhere in between, and you find news stories that you want us to vet, take a look at, dig a little deeper on, and report on this show, you can DM me through Discord, or my Twitter is open. The DMs are always open on Twitter, and I'm about to put that in the chat here in case you guys are on the app and can't see the area below. That is putting it in here. There we go. So you can DM me at that. My DMs are open. If I do use your news story, like I did with Miss Goddess Bree, I will give you full credit for submitting the article for the show. We want to know the news that is important to you. Because sometimes in the morning I am brain dead and I'm looking at all these news stories going, I don't know which one to report. There's so many. And there are. Sometimes I need little news fairies to help me go, psst, here's a story over here. So I'll report on the story over there. So that is the news of the day. Along with a little commentary, because I try to stay neutral, but it doesn't always work that way. Yeah. Alright, here we go. We got 4 people on this road to affiliate, so let's dive in! Alright, remembering to unmute because my brain is not completely dead this morning. First one on the docket today, looking for an average of, oh shoot, did I just I accidentally went over to Iron Emperor. Looking for an average view of 3 people per stream is Chai City Savage, and this is also your point to exclamation shill your Twitch channel. Go ahead and do it. I want to see some shilling other than me shilling out these people that I am highlighting on the road to affiliate. Shill, 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 y'all. Shill, shill, shill. Team Spock Love. So this is Chai City Savage. As you can see, they are hosting Emperor. There is his CPU. It's a variety streamer, so go check him out. He's a pretty good guy. I've kind of been talking to him in Maleficent's Discord. He seems pretty cool, so check him out. Okay, next one on the road to affiliate is the Savage Pack. The Savage Pack is looking for an average of 3 viewers per stream. And yes, since I don't have Twitch Prime, we're going to have to live through a commercial. If you're still here, Savage, tell everybody what kind of games you play. Let me see. I'm up for variety. He goes, I love meeting and interacting with new people and love playing video games, mostly shooters, but I'm up for variety. Hope you enjoy the stream, and if so, follow me to join the Savage Pack. So there's a little bit about him in the profile, and he's hosting me, so I have some streamception. Thank you, Savage Pack. Thank you very, very much. Alright, next one on the list. He's probably not expecting this. It is Frost Reaper 7. Frost Reaper 7 is looking for that magical number of 3 people per stream to make it to affiliate. And right now, he is playing... Are you hosting somebody? Yep. They're hosting someone who seems to be playing WoW, I believe. Yep. So, if we scroll down here, there's a couple of things that he has played. He's got a couple of clips going. Monday through Friday from 3 p.m. Eastern to 5 p.m. Eastern. And the weekends are chaotic because he works. So, we do have all that going on there. So, please check out Frost Reaper 7. And the last one on the list is probably another person that's not expecting it. Is Dr. Green Thumb 89, who is hosting Phoenix Wolfbreak this morning. Friendly, easygoing fellow, love to game and have fun. Currently on PS4, but saving up to upgrade to PC. Feel free to watch, chat, and just have some outright fun with me. He is on the Dreamy Team, and he is Team Spock, and there is his link. And with 55 followers, he's looking for that magic 3 viewers per stream to make it to affiliate. Let's see if we can help any of those people out this morning. Go check them out while they're live. See how their charisma works. Hey, Friendly Gently, how are you doing this morning? So those are the ones on the road to affiliate. Please share that link around. Take a look at them. Interact with them with their live chat and stuff. We're all a bunch of cool guys being streamers. I don't think I have run into a single person that I can't stand. And I'm not saying the Y word, because that would mean inevitably, according to, Murphy's Laws of the Universe, I'll bump into that one person. So I'm not going there. Alright, so now for the shout-outs.
I don't know what we're yelling about! Loud noises!
I did it again. No, I haven't gone silent. I forgot to... Everybody knows that watches my streams. This happens at least once or two, maybe 3 times a week. What did I forget to do, guys? What did I forget to do? This is Blaire White, the conservative transsexual, along with another trans friend of hers, responding to this thing that I can't figure out what it... Exactly, I forgot to unmute. That's exactly what I did. And the thing they're responding to is this thing right here. I have got no clue what it is. It keeps saying it's female, but I have no clue what it is. You guys have got to check that out. If not for the it's for the reactions to the thing, right? Next one. I don't know where Foamy comes up with these ideas, but this is Pillsy. Pillsy is spastic. Pillsy is named Pillsy because Pillsy takes a lot of prescription medications. And because of it, they have Squirrel Songs number 6, High Definition Edition. So, and this is absolutely hilarious. Let me see if I can play just a little bit for you. Now I gotta remember to unmute after I do it, but here
lost and now found. And all the while, it really fucked me up in my head. So here now, the song's in your head, played by the lady with the purple hair and silly nose ring. Begin with the strumming. Oh, there was a time when I had some pills. I would get high until my prescriptions couldn't be filled. So they shoved it away. We have no pills this day, and I'm living in reality.
And that is just a sample of what's going on in Pillsy's mind with his particular musical compilation. So I hope you guys absolutely enjoy that, because I was cracking up laughing listening to this. I really fucking was. I don't know where Foamy the Squirrel, or Jim, as everybody calls him because that's his name, comes up with these ideas, but holy Hannah, he comes up with these ideas. Next one on the list. Let me see. Alright, cool. Next one on the list is Miss Misa! White SJWs, stop telling me that I'm oppressed. She finally ranted about this because apparently she's been talking to a lot of white SJWs on Twitter that keep telling her that she is oppressed when she doesn't really feel oppressed. And this has gotten under the skin of our lovable Miss Misa, and you will not be disappointed over the video that she has put out. And the last one of the morning is titled Arrest Made and Stan Lee Elder Abuse Investigation Launches from the Quartering. Those of you that follow the Quartering should know this guy. He has been keeping an eye on the events surrounding Stan Lee. All hail Stan Lee, god of Marvel and pop. We love our Stan Lee. He's cool, Excelsior and all that. But he has been having problems lately because he is worth a lot of money, and he does have a daughter that unfortunately he didn't raise right. So there you have it. Po Buddy's nerfed. Everybody has a flaw. But he goes into detail about the arrests that were made, the abuse investigation that's launching, and everything else revolving around Stan Lee and that particular scandal that is coming out of the Stan Lee camp. So please give it a look-see. Drop a comment in the comment section if you have a couple of questions or just want to add to the conversation. But there is the last video for the day to be recommended. God damn it. I can't type. Po Buddy's nerfed. Po with a P. Po Buddy's nerfed. Elder, yeah, it is disgusting. I don't understand people either. And this week, this humble bundle has got me like as bummed out as the mango one, and I'm about to show you why. Because I'm gonna go through this humble bundle and torture myself slowly but surely. Yep. So here we go. It is the Dungeons, Hordes, and Horrors Humble Bundle. Pay what you want. It is a brand new bundle on the Humble Bundle store. Prepared! A dozen adventures for 5th edition. The Rising Knight, Assault on Blacktooth Ridge. Slap Heap, Wicked Cauldron, Quest of Doom 4 Awakenings, and Cave of Iron. The Brain Gorger's Appetite, the Lost Lands World Map. Kobold Press has 30% off coupons at Frog God Games, Kobold Press, and Troll Lord Games. So you even have a coupon for 30% off. I hate being broke. Usurpers of the Fell Axe, the Shattered Horn of Banishment and Blight. We have Beneath the Despairing Stone, Forsaken Mountain, Quest of Doom 4, The Desperation of Ivy, Quest of Doom 4, Pictures of at an Exhibition, Fishers of Men, Forgive and Regret. Deep into the Dark, Quest of Doom 4, A Little Knowledge, Prepared to, a dozen one-shot adventures for 5th edition. Beneath the Helm of Night, The Last Respite, The Wasting Way, The Paladin's Lament, The Blight, The Tome of Blighted Horrors, dun dun dun, Blighted Horrors. The Lung of Hacking, yay, the Lung of Hacking. We all love the Lung of Hacking. Okay. The Crooked Nail, The Horror in the Sinks, The Bloody Jack, The Crucible, The Children of the Harvest, Tome of Adventure Design. Holy smokes. The Blight Game Master's Guide, The Blight Player's Handbook, The Blight Poster Maps, Items Wondrous Strange, Blood Vaults of Sister Alcava, and the Grimalkin. It supports Navy Marine Corps Relief Society, or you can switch and choose to support a different charity entirely. But that is the brand new bundle in the shop today. Oh my goodness. It sounds like it's going to be a ton of fun for anybody that picks that thing up. And I did put the vendors, my humble partner link in the live chat. Some of those proceeds come my way, because that's broke folk. And the last one is, again, my passion project, which I will copy and post the link in the live chat. Please help Maisie move on with her story in the attempt to finish the first children's story ever that I will not get a profit off of. As a matter of fact, the profit will go to buildon.org, which is a charity that fights illiteracy. In order to be fully informed in this society, you have to be illiterate, and you have to have, leaving Facebook, follow link, yeah, I know, whatever. You have to have critical thinking skills, and you have to know how to comprehend what you're reading. We build hope, we build on. Education is a basic human right. Yet those who need education the most, like children living in poverty, are the least likely to attend and complete school. So, those are some of the statistics. And not all that are illiterate are children or school-age children of either elementary, middle, or high school. A lot of these illiterate people are grown in different age groups, as well as senior citizens. In order to inform yourself, you have to be literate, and that is why I am doing my passion project. That is why I am doing Maisie and the Treasure Map, and that is why I need your help to vote on what happens next, so I can continue the story, and we can hopefully get this charity on the road. So, there is that. Coming back over here. I have shilled all I'm going to shill. The illiterate are grown in pods. Oh, very funny, Neilk. Very, very funny. Let me see here. If you guys want to submit any tea memes, any weekday memes, or any coffee memes, you can do so via either my Twitter or through DMs on Discord. I will give you credit if I use them, because I like to do little memes and little gifs at the beginning of the show while we're talking to you guys, getting the show started. I already went over submitting the news articles. If you think you have found something cancerous for Cancer Wednesdays and love to hear me talk in an overly dramatic fashion while I'm reading the most cancerous article ever, you can submit those as well. Please make sure that the article submitted is not racially charged or anything that would get me in trouble on Twitch. I want to stay on Twitch as long as possible. Also, whether you are Team Spock or Dreamy Team or any other team watching this news stream right now, if you know anybody on the road to affiliate in Team Spock as a whole, please DM me with their channel link of what they lack and what they do on their channel, and I will shout them out. I absolutely love spreading this Team Spock love, and I do it in my own fashion by highlighting the people on my show. I can help them, but only if you help me, because I know there's over 2,000 people in his Discord, and I would need a clone or 3 just to go through his Discord to find people on the road to affiliate. So there is that. I love each and every one of you that participate in my live streams, whether in the live chat, with Streamlabs tips, or even giving me bits. Every bit of support helps. We are in a bit of a tight spot right about now. He's having a problem finding employment. I have picked up 2 jobs, freelance writing jobs. One's ongoing. One started a couple of days ago, but I don't get paid until my job is done. So tomorrow is the 15th of June, and for those of you that do not know the significance of that on Twitch, being affiliates, the payout after you pass the threshold has shrunk from 60 days to 45 starting tomorrow. So fingers crossed, I get my first affiliate check from Twitch tomorrow. Fingers crossed, fingers crossed, fingers crossed, because we still have one bill to pay and we have food to put on the table. So there is that. I love each and every one of you, and I appreciate every one of you guys that come to watch my news show and that comment in the live chat and interact with me. You guys are very special, because without you guys, I would be shouting into the void. And it's not fun shouting into the void, because talking to yourself can be seen as a mental disorder. Seriously, it can be seen as, a mental disorder. And so what we're going to be doing as soon as I start rolling the outro is, if for those of you that want to hang on, we are going to raid Cup O Joe, who happens to be playing Overwatch, and he is a part of Maleficent's team. So, as always, my friends, may your coffee ever flow, may your caffeine be ever strong, and may you have a thoroughly terrific Thursday. Bye, everybody. Take care.